Coming at you from Scratch-A-Wolf Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet. Your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter. To my left, my co-host, Danny Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
And across the table in the third chair, it is Thomas Maxwell Christopher Dixon.
Everybody's got to be Chris.
Everyone is Chris?
Well, oh yeah, I guess I got Chris in my name now, so everyone's Chris.
So
how's it going, guys?
What's up?
You're going to change in Discord too, are you?
Oh, that's too long. That's too long to change a Discord.
But the bitch is, it's a hyphenate too, so it's...
Perfect.
And I don't want to mess with people when they try to look at who's online.
Jesus Christ, could you imagine?
Yes. Yes, I can.
What a strange opening.
That's fine. It's different between today and any other recording day.
He's got a point.
I mean, but it's like on our scale.
Good point.
I didn't know we had a scale.
Wow.
Well, it's just a lot lower than everybody else's.
Didn't know we were measuring.
That's what she said.
Yikes.
Yikes.
So, Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh, that's right.
Holy crap, it is. Wow. I didn't even think about the time frame on this one.
2022.
We're still doing this.
We're in the future.
Yeah. Which new season?
Is it new season yet?
Are we calling it season?
Well, we decided we'd discuss it before the show, and then we didn't discuss it before the show.
So we're going to discuss it now on the show.
Apparently.
Well,
We didn't technically start in January, so it wouldn't be the new season yet.
Right, but we could say the first season was shortened,
Fair.
yes.
and we just called January the start of the season.
Happy season 3.
I was
Fuck
gonna
it, outvoted. Season 3, everybody. Here we are.
I was just going to say, if it's new music, then it's season 3.
So we're using the new music.
Uh,
How about that new fucking track, guys?
Nice.
so we're just going to say
roasted.
it.
Well, there it is. Let us know what you think
There we go.
of the music that maybe has been selected, but Danny knows just now he has to use.
He's got time.
That's true. Ain't even Christmas yet for us.
For us. Which kind of means I have time.
Yeah, we broke out the DeLorean to record some tracks for you. It's all right.
There we go.
Great, Scott. So,
Nicely done.
thank
Nice.
you. Thank you. Off to a good start.
Yes, always.
New Year's, same bullshit.
Yep.
Great.
You're welcome.
And they're still listening to us.
Which we appreciate the help.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, big deal.
Very big deal.
You know what else is a big deal?
What's that?
Supporting us, which there are some very fine people who do.
Yeah, thank you all.
And if you're listening and you're not one of them, tell you what, there are ways you can help support. One of which is to check us out over on Ko-Fi.
So we're going to call it?
That's what I'm calling it because that's what that looks like.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
I know people are like, it's coffee, but that's not how you spell coffee.
No. That's
And then
not
you
how
put the
spell-
dash in there, so you have to emphasize the syllables.
Right?
Ko-Fi.
Fi. Or
Oh.
fee, fi, fo, fum.
Right?
Oh, man.
It's ko-fi.com/rage across the internet. It's the new Patreon,
Correct. It's our backers.
right? 4 tiers you could choose from, or you could make just a donation of whatever you want, a one-time donation. That's possible there.
Also appreciated.
Absolutely. Anything you can do to help is a big deal. And of course, we got those tasty rewards for the backers, the monthly backers. If giving away money isn't your thing,
No, but the shares, the likes, passing of the knowledge,
Yeah.
letting your friends know about us.
word of mouth is huge.
Agreed. It's a big deal. We appreciate it. Thank you for putting us in others' ear holes.
That's...
That's a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Now, beyond that, if you're interested, our store is open, and we have a couple new items
Yes.
there. The I Can Soak It hoodie and shirt exists now. You seen those, Tom?
I did. I want
Super.
that hoodie. That might be getting purchased here shortly.
That's
Nice.
already on order for me.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. I love this hoodie. To have a second RAI hoodie would just make me so happy because I wear this one all the time. So now I can share. Share the time.
Also, you can change it up so you look half as homeless as you do now.
Oh,
Burn.
burn. I'll give it to you.
That aside, you're listening, and thank you for listening. Keep listening. Let us know what you think. Drop reviews and thumbs ups and likes and whatever format is in whatever format you listen to. I can't see your screen. I don't have your maps, but whatever you got, anything you can do to help it, it's a big deal. And we thank you, those who are helping and have helped. Just thanks.
All right. So,
What do you say we get into it?
let's get into the show,
All right. Now,
which you had already named.
yes, I have.
Yeah.
And they will
Kind
know
of.
that because they're...
Let's see the show notes, but
Right.
sometimes people don't. They see us and like, hey, REI's got a new episode and hit play.
And you should do that every time. Just don't even question it.
I'm just saying, some people don't even know there's titles to it.
Like if you see a thing with RA, just click on it instantly. Do whatever it says.
Oh boy.
But, the Garou Nation is a lot of things.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of culture, a lot of history. There's, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad. But there's more than just the Garou Nation out there. We obviously, there is a plethora of enemies that the Garou have to face. There are other Garou in terms of the Black Spirals. And then there are other things.
Yeah.
There are other Garou out there in the world. The rejects, if you will. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
The rejects of that name.
Thank you.
It's good. And it makes
Rejects or just rejects?
Well,
I'm just saying the rejects. And we're going to get into it.
Okay.
And I think I'm going
it
to...
kind of depends. I mean, it's your matter of perspective, really. Because, I mean, aren't we all of Gaia kind of thing? So, could be.
This guy.
Am I right? Matter of perspective.
Just leave it blank.
Thanks a lot. No, I can't take that out.
The fuck are you talking about?
Not we, but fuck. Anyway, keep going, please.
Thank you. So,
It's,
what I was going to say before Danny let us into the tall grass
ouch. Yep.
Ooh, is I'm going to get us started today, which I think is usually a bad sign, huh? But I'm going to talk about Rodin.
Okay.
We all know that when a Garou goes through his first change, customarily there's a kinfetch. That kinfetch goes to the nearest sept. They send somebody to go pick up the cub, black bag him, knock him over the head, whatever it's going to take to get him back to the sept, to get his training, and a star is born, allegedly.
A star is born.
But sometimes that doesn't happen.
No, there's no kinfetch. Maybe nobody even knew that this Garou was born.
Exactly.
Or that this quote-unquote human had a change.
What happens to that cub? What happens when you exist in the nation and you violate the rules to such a point that your own tribe turns their back on you?
Damn.
Well, what happens is
I didn't even think about it that way, yeah.
you get a Ronin.
Okay.
And it's not that. Sometimes the Garou himself can decide to turn his back. What happens to the guy who goes through his first rite of passage and fails or gets halfway through it and goes, fuck this. I want to go home, and runs?
Well, hopefully he's tracked down and killed.
Well,
Or forcibly brought back and had his brain unfucked. But
either way, he's turning his back on the nation, he's turning back on the spirits, he's turning his back on Gaia.
absolutely. And again, from this, you get Ronin. These are Garou without tribes. These are loathsome individuals who are not going to have a great life, but also they're free in a certain way. They're free of the politics of the nation. They're free of tribal boundaries. They are absolutely able to, say, make friends with a vampire or a mage because they don't live under Gaia's law.
Gross.
Sure.
It's weird to think about.
There's a level of freedom, but there's also a mass level of loneliness because you don't have your pack, your family, your
I was
set.
about to say if you don't have your pack, it's a huge mental loss.
Right?
Yeah, you
don't
get
have
the loneliness. You also get the restraint, right?
Well, what restraint?
Well, you don't have access to all those things anymore.
You don't have access to shit.
Your ancestors, nothing.
Who's going to teach you? How do you learn?
Exactly.
You don't have the wisdom of mentors. You don't have the kinship of your pack. You don't have people who understand your plight or what you're going through. I mean, you think about it. The day, that terrible frenzy you had where you woke up in an alley and you don't know where you've been for the last day and a half or something. You have people in the world, in your sept, in your pack, who can relate to that, who understand that loss of control because they've been there. But as a Ronin, you have nothing.
Yeah, who's to say that that it's good or bad kind of thing? And
That could make you so mentally unstable.
Right.
Because you're just sitting there waiting for it to happen again.
so are Ronin more susceptible to Harana?
They can be.
Okay.
I mean, there are levels of that too, because again, what makes you a Ronin? Is it because you were kicked out?
Not accepted by the totem.
Or did you run? Were you never found?
All right, so many factors then. Okay.
Yeah, it's not one thing. I mean, it's These are the three main reasons you're a Ronin. Either by choice, or by no one ever found you, or by you done fucked up bad enough. You know, and you look at those who were kicked out, certainly that's probably the worst fate of them all. Because you know what you've lost.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And
out of those three possible answers, I mean, obviously there's a few, there could be more, but the main three, I would see that as the worst one.
Yeah, because again, you know what you're missing out on. And while you're at it, the worm's still out there.
So you're more susceptible to that as well.
Because you're all on your own.
Shit.
Easy pickings.
Right?
All on your own, don't have a plethora of gifts to help protect you.
And
or
you don't.
Spirits.
You're absolutely right. Because, you know, as a Ronin, spirits won't cooperate with you. Most spirits, anyway. Many are hostile, if not openly violent, toward Ronin.
Oh, openly violent. Damn.
Oh, because you're Ronin, you spit on guys' face.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it. It's just...
But it's mainly Gaian spirits.
Yeah, you've turned your back on Gaia, on the totem. Think about that, a Geta Fenris.
Okay.
Who went Ronin. Now Fenris's brood.
Oh, all hates you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
it's not
by
actively
default.
tracking you down.
Exactly.
Whew.
Yeah.
Damn.
I wouldn't put it past Fenner to actively have him tracked.
To lose on all of that, that's...
You done fucked up.
Right?
Yeah.
Now there's another word for Ronin.
Okay.
Is it Ronin?
It's Renin.
Rownin?
Ramen.
Ramen.
Yep. No, sometimes they're known as the Sundered, which is a
That's
term.
kind of cool sounding.
Yeah. The connotations are more pity rather than contempt for the Sundered.
Oh. Okay. I mean, kind of makes sense.
It's there.
I just think of the word sunder. And,
Well, I think it's no. I agree. It sounds cool. It sounds cooler than Ronin.
It does.
I mean, Ronin, you know, it has its own imagery.
Mm-hmm.
But Sundered, that's pretty rad. But yeah, again, that's more of like a pity terminology. You know, maybe something reserved for a lost cub that was never found.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
You know, we feel bad for this one. Obviously, life as a Ronin, extremely difficult. And like you brought up gifts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and yeah, most spirits won't, but wild spirits will. You know, wild spirits will interact with Ronin. Obviously, triadic spirits in general, Worm and Weaver, they don't give a shit about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But
they're not in on the politics. So yeah.
Right. They have their own agendas and shit. They don't ain't worried about tribal politics. And, you know, every now and then you might get an animal spirit of some sort that might take pity on a Ronin. But again...
He's got his own agenda.
Probably. But that's what you're using for gifts. Those are your only options.
Slim pickings.
Right. Which is the point right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no more renown for you. You're cut off from renown.
Oh.
And that's if your name isn't stricken from the fucking record at all, right?
Again, depending on, right?
Depending on your tribe, on the situation. Maybe that name is just verboten.
You have no rank.
Exactly.
Imagine those higher rank ones that
Just lost everything.
lose everything, get shunned away.
Well, it makes me think the Sept of the Blood Fist. There's the statue in I think it's the Grave of the Hallowed Heroes.
Okay.
And there's like 5 or 6 names. Like it's adorned with names of all these great heroes. There's like 5 or 6 that are just scratched out.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Right?
That's
like-
kind of cool, but like...
Like you
fuck,
could ask
that
about them,
sucks.
but is that a decision you want to make?
No. That's not a good idea. You just see the scratched out names and you just know at that point, yeah, don't ask.
And we don't need to talk about this.
Just move on to the next name.
You look at him like, that sucks for them. I have pity. Maybe I don't, depending on what they did, but if you're not going to ask about it either.
Right.
Well, since they don't have a rank, can they learn higher rank gifts anyway?
Well, if they can get one of the few spirits that will deal with them to teach them something, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's more than likely that the gifts that a Ronin has prior to being turned Ronin is all they'll ever have their entire life.
Damn.
Yeah. And, you know, it's not just an inconvenience. Because you think about it, you know, the end times are coming or they are here, or it depends on when you're doing with your game. But that's someone that could be part of a tribe. You know, I mean, they're not dead, but they might as well be for all intents and purposes. That's one less soldier lining up with the Fianna or the Silver Fangs or the Striders or whoever because they went Ronin.
Huh.
So, you know, there are the ways where, you know, fuck this guy, he fucked up too bad. But then there's the other side that goes, it's one less warrior in a pocket, it's one less soldier on the battlefield.
One less soldier going to the other side, or one soldier going to the other side.
Exactly, because how much more susceptible are you to being, to falling to the worm or being forcibly brought to the worm? Because you're on your own.
Brought being the higher of the two.
Well, if the Ronin
possibility.
isn't furious and wants revenge. I mean,
fair.
Now there is another type of Ronin. I shouldn't say another type of Ronin. So what I do is I want to talk about hyenas, not Acheva.
Sorry, Grant.
He was excited for like half a second.
Right. The hyena is a term for a Ronin mercenary, which you don't see a whole lot of, so you don't... I've seen you both. You've
so
never
he
heard
bats
this
for
before.
the other... any team. It doesn't
Any
matter.
team. They'll do stuff, like obviously they can't work anywhere near a sept where they were ejected from.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll work, they'll travel around taking work from septs. They'll hunt down rogue Garou. You know, maybe a lawbreaker. Maybe they'll do a little something, hey, the politics, we can't mess with this guy, although he's a motherfucker. You have no affiliation.
He's a Ronin killer, essentially.
I don't know about killer. Maybe hey, we need this guy back. We just bring him to him. It's a mercenary at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
He's Dog the Bounty Hunter.
they're not part of Garou society anymore, so they don't have to work within the society's lines.
They're just doing a job at that point.
Yeah, I mean they'll take jobs in exchange for gifts, sometimes actually money. No one's going to give these guys a fetish, but theoretically,
I like doing it in exchange for gifts, though. That's a cool idea.
right? Well, because what else can they do?
Mm-hmm. Spoils of war, though. He could definitely take whatever he gets.
Absolutely. You know, and on the other side for the Garou, for the nation, it's a plus because, hey, if they don't come back, who gives a shit? Or we don't have to pay them.
We know nothing.
Right? I didn't hire you. Who are you?
Why are you standing here? Go away.
And we did a job. I did a job for you. No, you didn't.
I don't know who this is.
So, win-win. Kind of.
Kind of. Depending on how... there's a lot of
variables.
Yeah.
True. Now, every now and then, you'll get a situation where Ronins will team up.
Together. Multiple Ronin.
Yeah. You'd say form a pack,
Yeah.
but they don't have a pack totem, so they're not a pack.
They're just a group of people working together at the moment.
Group of Ronin.
They're called shames.
I was going to say the A-team, but...
A shame of Ronins.
They're mercenaries, man.
Man.
That was just one instance of them. They're not all mercenaries.
Right? Just
He's stuck on the mercenary.
I was
Oh.
excited for a second.
Well, because, yeah, that would be cool to play. A mercenary Ronin, that would be pretty fun. But
I mean, it would be really cool for a, first of all, that's not an easy road to hoe.
No. So that's not
but if you have somebody visiting and they're good for 2 games, bring in a mercenary Ronin.
That's a really good idea.
I was going to say a quick game or two, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a long-term thing.
Or even, for example, if maybe you only had one player.
Oh.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Certainly there's room for everyone to play a Silent Strider and have a roving Strider with,
That's what I would do personally.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But here's another side of it. You could do that with a Ronin and do a single game with a Ronin, and it's definitely a harsher world for that character.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought being a Menace was harsh.
Right?
It'd be a bit harsher than that.
Imagine being a Menace Ronin.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know how to react to that one.
That might be better. Depending on your set, that might be a better gig.
That's true. But depending on the tribe.
Yeah, depending on your set and your tribe, that might be a better gig.
Yeah, they'd
I think
probably be 20% more willing to accept you.
I would rather be a Ronin Metis than a Metis Silverfang.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or Fianna, for that matter.
Right, but you can't help
The ass kickings you're not going to get by being Ronin.
you can't help what tribe you're born under.
That's true.
Yikes. There's some serious connotations there.
And that's where Ronin also comes to, right? When you get kicked out of the tribe. You said it, so yeah.
Yeah.
You're just not feeling that tribe, and you just feel like leaving.
Changing your auspice, while a possible thing, is a big fucking taboo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Changing tribes even.
Yeah.
Even bigger
And so abandoning that entirely.
Oh, I can see it. He wants to change tribes, but the tribe he wants to change doesn't accept him, and now he's a Ronin?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's like
because
a
you
get
certainly
wanting to become a Fianna.
Because you certainly don't go back to your old tribe hat in hand.
No.
You don't go, sorry, Stag, I was kidding.
Well, that's why I said get and Fianna. Oh, sorry, Fenner, I'm going to go hang out with Stag now.
Yeah, right. And then Stag goes,
Good
fuck
luck.
off.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see it going the opposite way.
Either way.
Being a Fianna and wanting to go to
Regardless,
go to Fenner.
it works both ways because they're pretty identical.
Yeah, but then I see Fenner going, but you left Stag. What makes you think that I don't believe you would leave me too?
Fenner'd kill you.
You weren't strong enough for the Fianna. You're coming to me?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's
what I mean. Like,
I don't know why I was a little bit Joe Pesci there. You're coming to me? Hey, I'm funny
like
how?
That's pretty good too.
Thanks. It's canon.
Now
Fenner sounds like Joe Pesci.
Yeah, I'm about to say, now when you play Fenner, he has to be Joe Pesci.
Oh, a Whiplash version of Joe Pesci.
Anything you want, Fenner gets. Hey, Merton Riggs, what's up?
Oh man,
I don't know who summoned me.
some cool story hooks and possibilities here, right? Yeah.
No, definitely. But again, I bring back the group of Ronin together is called a shame,
Shame on you.
right? So they're not a pack.
No.
No pack totem, no pack. They are a shame of Ronin.
They could have came
That
up
is a
with a better
sentence.
name.
I kind of like it.
I know, it's kind of awesome. Because you got to think, these names are not coming from themselves. They're given to people who are in the nation.
Given from.
That's what I said, isn't it?
You said two.
Damn it.
English is hard.
Shut up.
Right. Stick-a-roon.
Next time I won't be so lewd.
It just says...
Said you were squeezing it in there. Here you go.
That did happen. Now there is one other type of Ronin that I want to talk about.
Okay.
And
There's quite a few different types. So
Yeah, there's some variation here.
I didn't think there was that many, but this is
freedom.
awesome.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
You take a Ronin many different ways, it sounds like.
And this is the worst one.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I like bad.
Yeah. Life is a picnic compared to. And that is the Dancer Ronin.
Oh, shit.
Now, the worm keeps pretty good tabs on their fucking people.
I imagine so.
They've got that system locked down. They have perfected the Gaian system. But sometimes, a cub will, let's say, activate, for lack of a better,
Yeah, I get it.
somewhere unexpected. Maybe they're on a school trip or somewhere where it's not convenient to grab them that, shit, we didn't, shit happens. Maybe, the kinfolk mother or whatever gets away, runs, and manages to stay ahead of whoever's hunting. You know what I mean?
Something.
So sometimes, a Garou who would have been a Black Spiral Dancer isn't caught and is a Ronin, becomes Ronin because of it. Now, all the same terms of place, you gotta remember, you're not a Black Spiral Dancer until you're taken down to dance the fucking Black Spiral.
Right.
You're just a Garou with some shitty fucking heritage. But a Garou, you're just plain vanilla Garou, unaffiliated nonetheless. You're Ronin. Now imagine that. You have no breed. Or, you have a breed, obviously. You have an auspice, but it doesn't mean anything because no one's taught you anything. You don't have a tribe. You don't have anyone looking out for you or teaching you anything. Same as before. Other Garou naturally mistrust you. They naturally dislike you. There's no home for you. Just as with every other Ronin. Except you're being hunted by your people.
God.
So it's like their version of a
Damn.
kinfish.
The worm's not going to, the spiders aren't going to stop looking for you. They know you're out there. They're
And they want to
actively
bring you back to dance.
Yep. So it's the same fucking raw deal, except you're actively being pursued by the agents of the worm.
Holy
God,
shit.
you can't go anywhere.
Yeah. There's a fucking,
And
there's
you
a
can't
clock
go
over
into
your
a sept, yeah.
There's a clock over your head.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, maybe you luck out and you manage to find some bone gnars or some children Gaia who will take you in. Maybe the totem will agree to take you in.
Maybe.
But you know what?
You're still actively hunted, aren't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is-
so
That
now
doesn't
puts
stop
that
anyone-
sept under.
Yep.
Yeah, you're putting that
yeah.
Cairn at risk.
Just by existing.
Yeah, that wouldn't last long.
Nope. Worst of the worst. Worst lot you have in the Ronin bubble.
Ronin bubble. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
so not many of
though.
those exist, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine, again, if you have like a single player and that's the game you're playing, oh man, I can see that going.
That'd just be
Right.
torture every time you play.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you think about it, you dial it back because I've told stories about other games. Back in the Virginia games, the character Winter's Howl was in fact a Dancer Ronin.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. That
Remember,
great
Have You Made
story,
Me
yeah.
Friends at the Hive?
Yeah. He had the amnesia
Yep.
flaw.
He was a Dancer Ronin. who was taken in by the Wendigo. Somehow.
Luckily.
Yes,
Right.
luckily.
It's because he forgot who he was. I don't know.
I mean,
Well, really, it's what happens when you're making your first character, and you have the amnesia flaw. So now your backstory is my decision.
which is a cool idea and a cool story hook. I remember you telling me it for like the first time you telling me that. It was like, holy shit.
Welcome to the fun.
Right? Somebody brought that up in Discord the other day, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of our new members.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, no one's mentioned that. I don't think anyone's repeated that back to me. I was really happy. I'm
For
like,
a
oh,
long
shit.
time, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Listening to those earlier episodes.
It's a brand new member who
He's catching up.
is catching up, yeah. He just heard of us a couple weeks ago. We started getting the Discord by the time he listened to that episode.
Which is really cool. That, there are people all the time who are just discovering us. Hey, welcome to the show. But it's always so fucking daunting. Like when we ask, they're like, yeah, I'm on episode 15. I'm like, Jesus, you are never.
The episodes only get longer.
Right?
I hope you catch up soon.
And we're getting to 100, so yeah.
Right? It's like you have like 90 more hours of show to listen to.
Hope you drive a lot.
Right? I hope you binge that shit because you are never catching up.
Yeah, but, I mean, so far, everyone who's had that, I don't want to say problem, but who's had that situation going on has fucking loved it, so.
Which is nice. And
Yeah, and it's awesome to hear. So.
also makes me question whether he got going on.
Hey, you watch episodes, you'd rather binge them all at once instead of wait weekly for them to come out.
No, absolutely, but like the shows I watch have the talented people on them, and like good writing. This
It's actually written.
Yeah, this is just us.
Yeah,
we
let's
just,
say this
we
is
just
not written.
bullshit with each other. People still like that, which, yeah, makes you question them too. But hey,
Right?
thanks for listening, everyone.
I was like, are you with my ex-girlfriend? Do you listen to yourself? He says, no, I don't want to hear this dumb shit.
Nope.
The dumb stuff that comes out of my mouth, I don't want to hear it. Like, why would I ever listen to myself? But that is that's the long and the short of the Ronin. Now I know, of course, there are other unpleasant Garou-related things out there. Tom, why don't you tell us about one?
Okay.
What's your reject?
Well, I guess you're going to find out, aren't you?
Well,
Well, I think we both know already.
Yeah, right. But they're going to find out.
I feel like we've discussed this beforehand.
what?
So did you know there is an ever-increasing threat that is often overlooked in the nation?
Feline leukemia. I know.
I was waiting for it. Is he going to say feline leukemia?
Not the answer I was expecting.
Oh, I was.
I don't know why.
Because it's funny as shit, and I expect it every time now. So it's not feline
It's
leukemia.
not feline
Oh,
leukemia.
man.
No. Unfortunately, it's skin dancers.
Gross.
Right.
Why are you dancing on skin?
Don't. You know what a skin dancer is. Don't do that.
Does he?
All right.
Has he done one yet?
What?
Yeah. Not in game.
No, not in game,
So
but
skin dancers.
Yes.
Are kinfolk gone bad?
kinfolk gone bad.
Kinfolk
Okay.
gone bad.
Gone bad.
Dun dun dun. These kin are driven in search of a birthright that they feel has been denied to them.
Okay, so
Like
it's
the
a
word
kinfolk who, like, I should have been a Garou the whole time. Why am I not a Garou? I'm taking this in my own hands.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, they're so driven by that thought
Okay.
that they're looking for a way to become a Garou, even though they weren't given the birthright of having their first change.
Got it. I mean, obviously I know what it is beforehand, but we're doing a show here, so I'm pretending. But it's how it goes. Come on now. Keep telling me.
This guy.
Well, you can't talk skin dancers.
Oh, well, then I'm done here.
Sweet. You can't talk skin dancers without talking about the first skin dancer.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh shit!
Oh, you got
Fine,
okay.
all
So you
right.
got somewhat of a format.
Man's got a structure.
All right.
I don't know if this is structured. It's just the way I wrote it.
All right. Do what you got to do then.
Now, you think about your typical Garou, who would just turn a cold shoulder to a whiny kin,
Usually,
bitching about how they didn't get their change.
probably knocked around a couple times too. Yeah.
Right. Just thinking, hey, the kin can gripe all they want, but only Gaia can create new shapeshifters.
Bam.
Or so they thought. The first kin to successfully uncover the road to the stolen werewolf nature was Samuel Hyatt.
Yeah, let's
The Skinner.
let me say, let's take a second, and because there are people who probably didn't hear some of those earlier episodes. Yes, he said Hyatt.
We are well aware.
That it's supposed to be hate.
Yep. As in Hate Ashbury, we get it. It's ironic. That's great.
I like saying Hyatt, sorry.
We all do. We've already discussed this point, but again, there's people who haven't heard that before.
So it's like, no, we do know that it's hate. We say Hyatt.
But it's so on the nose and ridiculous, so we say it this way.
Right? It's like Jean-Claude Villan.
Oh, my favorite. Jean-Claude Villan.
Saul Bad Guy.
Yep. Yes.
So,
Well, from now on, we'll just call him the Skinner.
Perfect.
there you go. Just a quick FYI. Yes, we know we're making a decision to say it incorrectly.
It's just because Samuel Haight. No.
Yeah, it's just so
Again,
on the
it's
nose.
too on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
It's so ridiculously on the nose.
It's almost laughable.
A little bit.
So, again, no, makes sense. We call him the Skinner, but you're saying he was the very first.
Very first, he traveled the world observing rituals, poring through occult tomes, and finally succeeded in discovering the rite of the sacred rebirth.
So he's the one that got to name it, too, then.
So
Found it.
he found it.
Okay.
The rite was made, but he's the one who found it.
Okay. All right, no, I'm following.
Got it?
Yep.
You sure? I know the
Yeah.
occult, I know the occult stuff bothers you.
Keep going, please. Jerk.
So now I go into a little bit about the rite. This blasphemous rite allows for a kinfolk to transmogrify himself into a Garou, but only after the successful capture and subsequent proper preparation of 5 Garou hides.
Oof.
That's a mouthful, but oof.
Yeah, but there's...
And let's take a second with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we have to go back to the Skinner because you have to discuss the fucking Skinner.
Yes.
But that means as a kinfolk, as a fucking kinfolk, you have to murder 5 Garou. Anyone capable of doing that is already a dangerous motherfucker.
I was going to say that one, it's a danger. It's the audacity for him to do that.
Well, the audacity to think it, the ability to do it.
Which means he's got to have the cojones to do it. He's got to have the strength to do it. Imagine the mind games he's had to play to get to that point.
It's kind of what I'm saying. Taking down a Garou is not an easy thing to do.
No. And then do
Not
that
even for other Garou.
Right?
and do that 4 more times. That's why I'm saying, like, the mind games he had to play to get there.
And there's a clock on that, isn't there, Tom?
Yeah, I'll get there. 'Cause I have the system written down, too.
You have to do it within a certain amount of time?
Yes.
Shit.
There is a time frame. Not only that, phases of the moon. So let's get on to the system of this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Each hide must be taken under the same lunar phase.
Okay, so you
So
can't
if
take
you
a
kill-
Ragabash.
Yeah,
can't
if you
take
kill a
Okay.
Ragabash, you have to have 5 Ragabash hides.
Shit.
After all 5 hides are gathered, the final ceremony of the rite must be conducted under a moon that matches the phase under which the hides were claimed.
Damn. That's a serious ticking clock.
Yep.
And how is this happening more often now than it was before then?
Because more kin are getting fed up with having to deal with Garou's bullshit
Okay.
and wish they were werewolves.
Yeah, we'll come
Fair
around
answer.
to that. Yeah.
So, to continue on, the rite also must conclude exactly an hour after initiated.
Oh my. There's so
You
many
have
specifics
1
here.
hour to get this done. So after the Rite Master rolls Wits plus Rituals, difficulty 9,
Shit.
as a kinfolk.
So at that point,
Only 1 success is needed, though.
okay. Then forget I said
But
anything.
welcome to your instant worm taint.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Well, when you open a description with blasphemous,
Yep.
I just put that little sub right there. Just
No,
welcome
right?
to your instant worm taint.
if I feel like that's a thing you point to.
And the other catch-22 is there's no known right for reversal. So all 5 of those Garou don't get honorable burials, nothing of that. They are now,
They're nothing
they're
anymore.
nothing now. Like, I don't even know what happens to those 5.
It doesn't kill their spirit, I would imagine.
I would hope. But then again, their spirit's being used to generate
Of course,
this.
that would be interesting.
Okay.
That was the thought I had, though.
The idea of an ancestor spirit who was skinned.
Oh. Saw that glint in your eye again.
In that vendetta persisting.
Ooh, I like that. To hunt down that Skinner.
Yeah. To go, that motherfucker's still alive, he's wearing my pelt.
I like that. That'd be a good chronicle.
Avenge Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry.
Yeah. Carve the parts of me off of his fucking carcass.
That'd be cool.
Right?
Fuck. That's kind of awesome. All the different stories we've already written today.
Now, Dana, you brought up, I'm sure I know you got more, but we're talking here.
Oh, just start on talking.
Yeah. So we got to go back to the Skinner,
Mm-hmm.
who obviously was, again, the first, and you bring up, Danny, why are there more now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because after he did this,
He started a
ridiculously...
Of skin dancers.
He started an entire sept?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he has
Now we're
traveled the
going
world
into-
teaching this shit to people. And it's like Fight Club.
He eventually gets killed, but
Well,
it doesn't matter. What's
No.
done is done. His words are being passed on.
well, also he got better.
Right.
I was going to say, now we're getting into things that I don't know.
Sam Hyatt was, I suppose, sort of like the Lex Luthor of the World of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He learned hedge magic. He, I guess at one point was Gould, so he learned some vampire disciplines.
What the hell?
No, yeah, he became like the Mary Sue of supervillains. And eventually his soul was forged into an ashtray. When Will You Rage, which is of dubious canonicity.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick up that, so.
Yeah, well, it's the novel. It's
okay.
Set of short stories. But there's a story about him in there, which is ridiculous. It involves him getting a younger clone of himself,
What?
and then dealing with like a white howler cub. So like, look, this was like late first edition era. So
Okay.
They were toying with it.
the legitimacy of those stories is a little
Iffy?
yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't think that we were going to call that canon, but it's written somewhere. Personally, with me, I love Sam Hyatt as the Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Garou serial killer, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good picture of him, too, in the game book for him.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
I was about to bring that up because I don't think Danny knows this.
No, I did not know this.
Is Sam Hyatt first appeared in the Velkenberg Foundation.
That I knew.
Oh, fuck.
I knew he appeared there.
That's where that started.
Okay. Like I said, I knew that it appeared there. I did do a little research back when we did our Chronicle. And again, I'm not going to go too much because that's a backer donation thing.
Yeah, I used the Velkenberg Foundation location, but none of the plot lines.
Right. And once we went through that story, I knew that those words existed, so I was curious. I started looking up, and I was like, all right, this is too much. I don't want to go any further to ruin the future of our game. So I left it as is, but like I knew the beginnings of that. So, but I didn't want to go any farther.
No, well, you wouldn't have spoiled anything for yourself because I didn't use those plots.
But I didn't know that at the time.
Which is, yeah. But yeah, that's where he got his start and became a big time and I mean kind of silly villain for the whole World of Darkness.
Which makes
an
sense.
asshole.
Well,
We became an ashtray.
That, too.
the Mary Sue of villains. I get it. Yeah.
Lex Luthor of villains.
Yeah, he's a little both.
A little both, yeah.
You know, but, I prefer him as that serial killer. When I think of Sam Hyatt and I want to do something, like when I think of something for like inspiration for me, if I'm going to do a Sam Hyatt story, I think of Seven.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Seven Deadly Sins and the
Brad
serial
Pitt,
killer.
Morgan Freeman.
You never.
Oh, it's a really good movie. We're gonna help you with that. That's a good movie.
He does some kind of murder from each of the Seven Deadly Sins. There you go.
Fun.
That's all you need to know right there.
Sure. And I mean, not a direct one for one, but that's the kind of that theme and the tones and the that's the kind of thing I would want to do for a Skinner story. A mystery kind of like a whodunit, but whodunit. Just like where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna be next? What's he gonna do next? Because you can't stop him. You can't find him.
It's your own Batman Chronicle.
Kinda.
I like that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Shit.
And that's just for Sam. I mean, he's a cut above the rest, but again, skin dancers at all. The fact that you have on your own collected these 5 pelts and gone through this, you're already a dangerous motherfucker. And now we're going to give you a Krynos form.
Ugh.
Right?
Yeah. Ugh.
Fangs and claws and access to the Umbra in gifts. Not a whole lot, though. Right, Tom?
Not a whole lot. I mean, we'll get to that. But
We're fucking with the structure again.
Yeah, we are.
No, you're not at all.
Oh, cool.
Because I really didn't have much on Sam. So, because I figured we would just openly talk about him.
And that's,
Everyone kind of knows his story.
Yeah. The first Skinner. That's cool.
But who knows a werewolf better than his own blood? That fact alone makes skin dancers the perfect predators for Garou. They know your gifts. They know your forms. They know your weaknesses.
And depending on who they're going after, they know where you sleep at night.
Exactly.
Maybe they're in the same bed.
Damn. Which is kind of how I see it. Like, that's the only option they have of getting all 5 in that short amount of time, and the mind games they gotta fucking play. It's nuts.
Just how mentally messed up that person has to be.
Well, and sometimes it's deserved.
Oh, for sure, because I know all kinfolk aren't treated the greatest.
Yeah, not all created equal, not all treated equally. It kind of sucks to be a kinfolk.
It's the world of darkness.
I guess it kind of sucks to be everybody.
It's true.
Everybody else.
Now, trying to fit a skin dancer into a standard guy in Chronicle can prove very difficult.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
But if managed, can present an interesting and different feel to the game. Now, I move on to actually, discussing character creation here. Like making a skin dancer.
Okay.
So you made a skin dancer?
I didn't make one. I'm just saying I go on to it. If you make one, follow these guidelines.
Okay.
So you want to make a skin dancer, strap yourself in for some knowledge. This is what I put down.
All right.
There are 2 ways to make one. First, the easier of the 2, create a standard werewolf player. You get 1 level 1 gift from any breed, auspice, and tribe, or even Black Spiral Dancers. You can choose whatever. Must have 5 dots in rituals and rites, because how can you perform the ritual of that? You have to have it.
Right.
And may not buy any ancestors or pure breed backgrounds.
Oh, certainly not.
No. It's...
That's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You begin with 4 willpower and only 1 gnosis. You are Hamid born.
Okay. Makes sense.
Well, no, you have to be. I don't see a lupus pulling this off.
No.
Would they call that something different?
Impossible.
Okay, got it.
They don't have opposable thumbs.
Right. How you going to see the skin without the thumbs, man?
The Duke Claws?
Can't even
Touche.
shuffle cards, bitch. What are you going to do?
Oh, boy. All right, so the second way, which is much more involved, but much more rewarding. Begin by making a kinfolk character, and roleplay through at least 1 or 2 of the werewolf hunts. Ring the bell. Do all 5.
Shit.
Fuck.
And yeah, you do all the hunts to gain the necessary skins and perform the rite. Actually try to perform the rite. That would make an amazing Chronicle.
It would.
Like a single player, though.
Yeah. It would have to be a single player, but then what do you do with it? I think at that point, and this is me, you have just crafted a lovely new antagonist for your storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can see that.
Oh, when I was going through this, I was like, man, I'd love to do this. Be the bad guy.
You sick bastard.
Okay.
I can see it.
World of Darkness, man, it could make a really good story.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely could. And what you're talking right now is right up TC's alley. He has gone on record a couple times. You're like, maybe the skin dancers are not joining the Garou Nation.
No.
It's a dream, TC. Cut it out.
The whole Garou Nation wants to kill them. They've killed 5 of their brothers to become one. Why would...
Right?
Why? That's not even a thought.
That's my argument. You're not going to team up with the guy who's wearing part of your Uncle Jeff.
And Joe, and
Larry.
And
right?
Larry.
Uncle Larry.
And 2 other names.
Well, they're all Fianna, so it's the same family.
At least he's one color.
Ooh.
Well, they said they all had to be one auspice. They all have to be one tribe, as far as the hunts go.
No.
Okay.
Just one auspice.
Just curiosity, real fast.
The middle one was a silver fang, so he's got a white striping.
That's good.
They're called Mr. T.
Sure.
Whatever you want.
I was going with Le Pew.
Oh boy.
Because he smells bad?
Alright.
It's the single white stripe.
I know, it's just...
So now you've performed the rite. You become a skin dancer. The road traveled will not be an easy one.
Oh, certainly not.
Now, obviously being all worm-tainted at all, now learning gifts from Guy and Spirit, totem broods, is out of the question.
Oh, no. They're not going to be happy with you.
But throughout history, skin dancers have forged spiritual alliances with Banes and unassociated spirits. If your storyteller is nice to you, he'll even let you learn Black Spiral Dancer gifts.
That I can see. Because you're worm-tainting yourself from almost the very beginning.
But you're not a Black Spiral Dancer.
Right, because you haven't danced the spiral.
True, and in fact, I can't imagine that the Spyros themselves, I mean, exceptions here and there,
Sure.
but have a whole lot of love for the Skin Dancer either.
No, because they're still Garou.
Right, because maybe one of those pelts
Was
was Magomra's cousin.
What'd you call him?
Magomra.
That's what he said.
All
When he
right.
danced the dance. How they get their name. So obviously Skin Dancers have no rank.
No.
But the sort of spirits we are working with do not care about rank and can be convinced to teach higher level gifts. And I
That
put a
takes some
little
serious
note,
convincing,
a little note, Skin Dancers buy all higher than 1 level gifts at a cost of what the gift is times 6. It's expensive.
Yeah, a little pricey. Maybe you don't need Falling Touch.
Isn't that rank 1?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's, look,
I think that's his point out
I make a joke.
Oh, okay. Good joke.
Smaller, low-level gifts like that are probably not necessary, is the point.
No. But there is 2 gifts that are highly recommended
Okay.
as a Skin Dancer. One is See Past the Skin, which basically allows you to recognize other Skin Dancers, and you can tell by where they sewed the pelts. It's only a level 1 gift, but it allows you to at least be able to know if that person's a Skin Dancer or not.
Which is a little important,
Probably.
because that's not something you want to, like, fuck up on.
Mm-mm.
It's like, oh, you're not a Skin Dancer. I'm sorry, my mistake. It's all cool. No, that's not gonna...
Yeah, that's not, that. You know, you're dead now.
He's gonna go, oh, you said a Skin Dancer too. Oh.
Oh, here's my claw in your face.
Right? Let me call my pack. You know, the thing I have and you don't.
Now, the other gift, it's a level 5 gift, but this is the one that I say every Skin Dancer needs, and it's Mask Taint. It'll mask your worm taint from all 5 senses.
That's a helpful thing.
Very. But those are the 2 that are highly recommended.
Well, and it's, you know, like you mentioned, it's slim pickings for them.
Very.
You know, just like the Ronin.
You're learning from Banes, you're learning from spirits that are not Gaian, that just don't care.
Right. Now, that said, Skin Dancers are, quote-unquote, a real tribe insofar as they do have a totem.
They do, and I was just getting onto that.
Well, go for it.
But your totem quest could still be a long one, because throughout Skin Dancer history, many have sought and in fact actually found spirit servants of forgotten or lost totems, such as Minotaur. If you can communicate with him at all, though, he will teach you.
If you can communicate with them.
Well, remember, you were kin.
That's what I'm, getting that. I wonder if, like, the rare form, the rare version of kinfolk who do have gnosis, they're probably a little easier for them to become a Skin Dancer rather than just your regular kinfolk.
I think it's probably less likely that a kinfolk with Gnosis would be a Skin Dancer, because
Okay,
they tend to be
then.
prized above regular kinfolk, so surely they'd be treated better. I mean, that's the, you know.
Right. No,
I see your point. Makes sense. Definitely makes more
It's all about
sense
the
than I had.
Gnosis, man.
Right? I mean, look at Bookman versus Ted Collins.
Which, in your games...
Everyone respects Andrew Bookman. No one respects Ted Collins.
Yes, you are correct. Again, this is your games. This is not canon or anything.
True.
But this is your canon. Your head canon. Fine. But still.
But I think a good example of that
Yeah, agreed.
is surely they're higher prized, therefore treated better, therefore less likely to slip. However, that guy who's working overtime as a janitor at the wherever, I mean, who gives a shit at that point?
Yeah.
Working 80 hours a week, so half his paycheck can go to his brother who doesn't have a job. I mean, he does. It's called trying to save the fucking world, you ain't great. But...
But in his eyes, no.
Exactly. To this angry, shiftless guy who shows up, eats all of his food, drinks his beer, sleeps on his couch, bleeds all over the place, and leaves. And you can't say anything, or otherwise he'll kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, because he will.
Right. Like, imagine that. Imagine, like, Danny, if I just fucking came over whenever I wanted to and just slept on your couch. I didn't have my own place. You did my laundry, you cooked my meals, you paid for all my shit, and if you gave me lip, I'd beat you with a baseball bat.
Can't change the locks. You just break them.
I was just about to say, just breaking the door down. I mean, what's the matter?
Oh, I get it. I get why he'd be angry and what would, cause this madness. That sucks.
Sleeping on the couch, and here goes your throat.
Maybe someday maybe. I think it's a great lesson in how a reminder of maybe to be kinder to your kinfolk, of what happens when you treat the kinfolk like shit. What can happen, at least.
The worm will definitely start whispering in their ear.
Right?
Worm taint, man. It's all fucked up.
Well, even then, you consider that the worm taint is a result of this rite, but it's not necessarily, the worm isn't evil. It's kind of above those concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is certainly we would call the seventh generation evil.
Yes.
Of course. Just because something is bad doesn't automatically make it of the worm, is what I'm saying. Greed.
The worm's trying to do its job.
Right. Greed, even it's in its tainted form, its corrupted form. But greed, jealousy, the need for revenge aren't necessarily of the worm just because they're negative things.
That's fair.
You go, well, murder's bad, but murder's also supernatural. Not supernatural, it's very natural.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing in nature. Shit gets murdered all the time in nature.
To help others live, yeah.
Yeah. So, is killing bad?
It's all relative.
Exactly. So I want to point that out. It's not necessarily the worm. It's not I'm worm tainted, so I'm going to become a skin dancer. I got worm tainted by being a skin dancer. I did this because I'm angry, or I'm jealous, or
All the above.
yeah, for any number of reasons.
That's about all I got.
Yeah, you said gifts. Was there fetishes too or something?
Oh, there's fetishes. You want to hear a fetish, Danny?
Sure. Is it feet?
I was going to say diaper babies.
I just don't know how to respond to that one. Diaper fetish. What?
It's a thing. If it's a thing, it's a fetish thing.
It's true.
All right, well, skin dancers, obviously, there's the right of the fetish, but these guys can only make fetishes through banes and other bad spirits. Or minions, that's what it is.
Again, no Gaian's going to deal with them.
No.
Yeah, definitely not. I think we've hit on that enough.
Right. That's a theme of the show.
Kinda.
No Gaian's going to deal with you.
Nope.
The episode.
So we change it?
No, Rejects is the
cool.
perfect name.
So one of their cooler fetishes I liked is the goblin eyes.
Okay.
This fetish is normally created using a pair of face-fitting sunglasses or protective goggles. The goggles are smoked completely black by the soot released from the burning of a wolf cub skeleton and then bound with an owl spirit. When activated, the wearer of the goggles gain the ability to track Garou movements via residual traces of their gnosis signatures through virtually any terrain, untamed or urban, and even water. However, this fetish will not allow its wearer to track a Garou camouflaged by supernatural means.
So at least.
Blur of the Milky Eye.
But still,
Yeah.
Damn. And that goes back to the Garou serial killer.
Right? How cool would that be?
He already did his 5 to get the pelts. I want to keep doing this.
Well, it's certain. I have an easy time believing that Sam would assist those he's trying to convert.
That's what I was
He's
getting
gonna
at. I wasn't
definitely
going
help to make more
specifically
skin
Sam,
dancers.
but yeah, I wasn't going specifically Sam, but I'm just thinking.
Yeah, the Skinner in question.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. Again, we go back. I talk about the Ted Collins, one of my kinfolk, who in a different setting did become a skin dancer. I've talked about this on the air briefly, and he was taught. He had to be taught by someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't do it.
or he had to
Find it
actually
out.
seek someone out.
Right. In this case, someone sought him out, but 6 of 1, right?
Right.
Whew. That's a little crazy.
But
Yeah.
That's cool as hell, though.
And we go back to Minotaur, and yes, Minotaur is the totem of the skin dancers. Because again, Sam has kind of built this tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And Minotaur, he's a bad motherfucker.
he is.
I know about Minotaur, man.
Minotaur is the embodiment of the man that becomes the beast, the sentinel, or the sentient being who craves animalistic power.
This man is furious.
He respects strength and holds contempt for the weak, and thus has come to favor the skin dancers, who parlay a small strength into such a greater one.
Right? Because again, what type of talented fucking cold-blooded killer are you already?
Yeah.
And now you have Garou power.
I can see Minotaur taking some, I don't want to say liberties, but like taking some interest in that now.
And then basically his only trait is Minotaur places his children in contract with spirits that can teach them gifts, and thus his children can learn most gifts of rank 3 or lower at out-of-tribe costs. He also grants each of his children an extra dot of stamina and an extra dot of survival.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's the
your
only
only
one.
option.
Yeah,
You're
it's the
getting
only
one.
one.
Like, hey, at least you're getting one.
Exactly.
Ronan? No.
Yeah, you're better off than the fucking Ronin.
His band, though,
Yeah.
demands that his children hunt and slay any of Pegasus's children that they meet.
Yeah, he's got a mad hate on.
I was going to
for
say,
Pegasus.
so he's
He
serious hate
hates
from Pegasus.
So like you're already at war with the Black Furies,
Yep.
just by default.
So skin dancers can never let a Black Fury or other werewolf who follows Pegasus live in peace.
Oh, so if you meet a Black Fury, you're like,
You gotta kill him.
you just have to kill them.
If it bleeds, we can kill it, man. Now, there's something cool about, or I don't know if cool is the word I want to use about Minotaur. So, we mentioned that he's pissed constantly,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not worm tainted, but he's close.
I was going to say, but he's close. If he's
He is.
giving you access to other worm spirits and veins,
Like
they can
he's,
give you those things.
He has a faint touch of Beast of War's taint.
Okay.
it's just a
Just a little
faint
bit.
taint.
Just a little
A
bit.
faint taint.
Yeah.
He's not a direct servant of the worm either.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is he's not,
He's an indirect.
but he's not far away.
No.
I think it's in the Skinner SAS.
I mean, it's kind of like skin dancers. They're not far away of being
Right.
spiral dancers.
right.
It's craziness. Jesus. This is
Guys,
nuts.
rejects.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in the Skinner SAS that he's like a dog hair away.
Oh, yeah. he is just, he's right
You know,
there.
He's just a fucking. He's a bad day away.
Just waiting for Worm just to go, all right, come on.
Yep. It's like falling down.
And he's halfway leaning.
It's like the movie. You haven't seen it.
No.
I don't
neither
know
one of
why-
you?
I don't know why
The
you
movie
even try
Falling
with
Down?
movies.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Oh my god.
Still, to this day, I don't understand why you even try with movies with me.
Well, other people will hear this.
Okay.
And other people will go, yeah, man. It's like one traffic jam away. It's all it takes. They're gonna know. It's a really good movie. Michael Douglas.
I mean, I probably have heard about it. I don't. The name is very vague that I don't remember specifically which one that is. So
Yeah, we'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that for our very specific movies episode. I guess.
Oh, we're making one of those?
I don't know.
Not here.
I doubt it.
I
That'll
doubt
be
it
fun.
too. Maybe that'd be a backer monthly thing.
No.
Get the movie nights.
Yeah,
just
who
saying.
knows? Now, not to be outdone, we talk about Rodents. We talk a little about our skin dancers.
So
Danny.
we're going a little bit more worm taint now. Yeah.
So what's the taintiest?
Oh, damn
We're
it,
gonna
you
go-
took it from me. I was going to say it.
Nice.
The
All right.
taintiest of the taints.
Well, I said it wrong last time, and I just thought it'd be funny if I started this way, but I was like, that's not going to be that funny. So, back in however many episodes ago,
Olden times.
olden times, I kept saying abominations when we referred to metis. Metis are not abominations.
I mean, they are.
They kind of are.
But
Like, even when I started reading some of this, I was like, you know what? I'm curious on what this book says and what this book says and what this book says. Like, I'll just throw a random book out and say, like, the Get a Fenris Tribe book. If I search the word abomination in the Get a Fenris Tribe book, the only thing that comes up is talking about metis.
however,
Right. But abomination is not a metis. Or a metis is not an abomination.
Abominations are their
Abominations.
own thing.
yes.
Abominations are Garou who were embraced by vampires. Tom's face.
My face is because is it all shapeshifters can be abominations?
Yes.
Not just Garou?
They can. We'll get there because even with Garou, it is super fucking rare.
Okay.
It is stupid rare. Essentially what's happening are vampires are taking Garou as pets. But you need to embrace. Now, they'll try many, many times. And most will die upon this attempt of embrace. It's very rare that they do survive. If they do, boom, get an abomination. If they survive.
Well, that's the thing. The default position is a painful death.
Painful. Very painful.
And that's the positive outcome.
Mm-hmm.
If a vampire tries to make a werewolf a vampire, the good outcome is a painful death.
No. Almost. There's almost 3 outcomes. There is...
I'd rather take death.
Because they actually give like mechanics on how this happens. So you're actually rolling for what happens.
I'll still take death.
But, we'll just start with the embrace itself is disconnecting the Garou from, like, the world's soul. So you're almost not a Garou anymore. You're taking that away. So, again, we're going with the rolls. It's a reflexive and instinctive Gnosis roll. Diff 6. If it's a success, you die without pain. Your spirit lives on and goes to wherever it was destined to go. Like, we'll give the example of, like, the Valhalla. As your spirit's going to Valhalla. If it's a fail, it's a torturous and agonizing death. But your spirit will still move on.
You have to botch to become one.
Exactly. You have to botch to become an abomination.
That's why it's so rare.
An abomination.
An abomination. Perfect.
Oh, man. So,
Play on words.
if that happens, you're losing points in glory, you're losing points in honor, you're losing points in wisdom.
Right.
It matters.
You're losing points in life.
Yes. But, like, I only bring that up because it does matter.
You're an abomination. You just die.
You'll fall in rank. You can no longer gain any renown. You can no longer rank up. The only way you can rank up is if you were previously a spiral. And even then, it's so difficult to rank up. It's like almost it takes like a quarter. You rank up 1/4 as fast as just a regular spiral would.
It's like you're Canadian, the exchange rate. It's murder.
As an abomination,
Worth more right now.
As an abomination, you can no longer regenerate health, like Garou, but because you were embraced, you use blood points like vampires do.
Get to drink blood?
I don't know. I'm not a vampire guy. I don't know those answers.
Yes. Okay. But essentially, you turned into a vampire, so
Yeah.
assume, yeah.
Yeah, so
Kinda.
you lose your Gaian regeneration because you're not alive anymore.
Right.
So you do like the leeches do, and you use blood points for all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Can you still shapeshift?
Yes, maybe.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Ooh.
I believe so, but I think it's only so much.
Still, vampire that can shapeshift.
Blah.
They'll still have the knowledge for their gifts and rights that they did learn, but only worm rights will still work because only the most corrupt spirits will answer any of the calls that they make. They'll only answer calls to something that's really that dead. You can only learn new gifts from Bane spirits.
Makes sense.
All your fetishes that you did have, they all lose connection. The spirit usually just flees. You can try and attune the fetish, but that's also super rare. It's a diff 10, and if you botch, it's a permanent loss of Gnosis points. You're always at the brink of Hirano. Every scene, spend a willpower point to have full dice pools. If not, everything else, your all dice pools are all halved. And you can no longer spend willpower points to guarantee success.
So spend willpower roll, but you can't spend willpower for a success. Okay. That's
Well, no, you spend willpower to gain all of the dice pools.
that's what I mean. I mean, who wouldn't?
So
spend
if your dice
willpower
pool
for
is
that?
normally like 6, you have to spend a willpower to get 6.
Yeah.
Or
So
you
you
have
basically
3.
always be spending willpower.
And you slowly degenerate as an abomination. You're already quote unquote dead, but your body and everything about you is slowly withering away.
Ticking time clock.
Whenever you do something that's really against like the ways of Gaia, such as like a frenzy, you just degenerate even more than you normally would, which is already a slow process, but not a good process. So like spirals, they degenerate much, much faster as abominations than your regular Gaian Garou. These actions cause Gnosis loss, permanent. And when all your Gnosis is gone, you can no longer step sideways, you can't even use gifts, or fetishes. That way again, it's the slow death. Slow degenerating death.
So is their rage gone and replaced with blood points? Is that how that works?
That's a vampire question, but that would make sense. At least to me.
But you said they could frenzy.
Well, so can leeches. In fact, drinking vampire or drinking Garou blood will make a
some
leech frenzy.
Yeah, okay. I don't know, I just don't know much about Dracula's. So.
Yeah, neither do I.
Neither do I. Which is going to help in this next stock coming up soon.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Not that coming soon.
In a world.
The only way to stop your degeneration process is to fully offer what is left of your soul up to the worm.
Or stake your heart.
Or, more specifically, powerful banes of the worm, such as the Melgin Incarna.
You can't just off yourself.
I mean, that's really what you should do.
Right.
I kind of like the idea, though, of, like, Lord Steel having a couple pocket abominations.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I could see it.
I was thinking exactly Lord Steel doing it.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, once they said, you're giving up your soul to the worm, but more specifically, powerful banes of the worm, that's the first one I thought of was Lord Steel.
My first thought was number 2, but I don't want to open that can of worms today.
See, you know way more on number 2 than I do, so that makes sense.
You're not supposed to know anything about number 2.
I know who number 2 is, motherfucker.
You're not supposed to know.
I know I'm not supposed to know.
You're going to die now.
Probably. I'm gonna die soon.
Eventually.
Not now. I'm gonna get through the episode at least, guaranteed.
So, but giving yourself... Nice. I can't take that out now. Nicely done. But giving yourself up to the worm in the Melgin Incarna, if that's happening, you're no longer in control of your character. So you're essentially just handing your sheet over to the storyteller, and it's now his NPC. That's pretty much now an antagonist.
Myself anyway. Here you go. Here's my sheets.
Well, no, you go to
some
Melfi's
people-
and you pledge yourself to Lord Steel and you hand me your sheet and I go, all right, well, you're now Crimson Blah.
It'd be fun to do a tour with Lord Steel.
Right?
There are some people who want to play the bad guy. I get it. It
I
happens.
want to play a skin dancer. I think it'd be fun.
But if you're giving yourself up to the worm, you no longer have control of anything you do. That's why they say it's now like a storyteller NPC. So then, I get it. I understand now. But at the same time, Garou are not the only ones who can be embraced to become abominations. And I was laughing at that. I was like, okay, I get it. All other Ferric do have some kind of, spirit connection.
Well, and it's a natural
They had
question to ask.
mandates by Gaia, so...
Right, well, it's a natural question. If you can turn a Garou into an umpire, what else can you turn into an umpire?
Umpire, huh?
Blah.
Vampire. Dracula.
Oh, Dracula. I got confused because sometimes we talk inside baseball and and there's always bats. So
Blah.
You went really fishing for that one.
only because he called me out on the umpire thing.
That's
I was
fine.
just gonna lay it out there and let it sit, but
Just let that simmer.
he put a hat on it, so I had
Yeah.
to go somewhere with it.
So, was it Storyteller's Guide that I was reading?
I'm not sure. You tell me.
Yes.
You're the one that had
Yes.
the book.
Okay. Yes. There is a small section. I mean, it's like a paragraph long for all these different Farah on what really kind of happens. And again, this is in the eyes of Garou here, so we're looking at from their perspective.
Well, if you pulled it from a storyteller's book, then it isn't.
No, it's not. Okay.
That's story.
That's
just
knowledge.
That's knowledge.
okay. Fair. I'm just thinking, like, for how small that paragraph was. That's kind of why I was thinking that way. For how small that paragraph is. Because, again, I probably almost wrote this entire paragraph down. Maybe just using my own words. But, like, Bastet, if you were to embrace them, if, again, for how rare it is, they just lose a permanent gnosis point once per moon. They never recover it. They're all cut off from the spirit world, and they can't use any gifts. And once their gnosis is gone, they just wither away and die. And again, that's if they become an abomination, which is already stupid rare.
Yeah.
Nuisha can't be embraced, period.
Good.
So, if they're attempted to, they just die. Slowly, quietly, just die.
Proper Nuisha.
The Macaulay and the Corax, with their ties to Helios, they'll die within 1 day of the sun rising. And Corax is just like they burst into flames. It's like a fucking hand grenade.
Right? Just blow up.
Yep. The Macaulay, though, instant frenzy and will just keep frenzying until the sun comes up. So usually whoever embraced that Macaulay will die.
Do you imagine that shit?
Just a rager.
Like, for some reason, all right, or somehow you find a Macaulay, is a vampire, right? So when you stumble upon this shit, and you go, hey, why don't I turn him into one of us? Which is already a dumb fucking idea, right? But then, you sneak up on Leatherhead, you put in the fangs, you give him your blood, and then he turns into Godzilla.
And rages till dawn.
Right? And then just rampages over Tokyo until the sunrise. That's a bad day.
Yep.
Just go get Mothra.
So, now a little bit here. Obviously, I don't know very much on vampire. But luckily for us, I know someone who does. I reached out to our buddy Grant, who writes for Vampire, is writing Enoch by Night. And I was asking him, what is, the aspect from the vampire side of this. And he gave me a little nuggets of information, which is awesome. And I'm thinking to myself, what about someone who is like the Garou and the Bastet? They have a little bit more of a stronger spiritual connection. What about the Gurhal? Just out of curiosity. In canon, there is a Gurhal abomination named Sarah Childslayer.
What's her deal?
I think she likes to slay childs.
Like Julia Childs, or?
I was going to say that's children, Tom. Childs?
Childs.
Children.
I'm keeping with her name. She likes to slay childs.
So that's canon. There is a Gurhal abomination. How fucking cool is that?
Oh, Child Slayer.
Yes.
What do you think he said?
Oh, boy.
I thought the
S
Childs.
was on the...
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
It's a totally different thing.
Oh my god, you sick bastard.
No, Sarah is.
Right? I didn't do it.
So,
Your fucking notes.
fine.
Anyway.
But that's in canon. That's in the Gurhal book. So, and then Grant had to get a little, I don't want to say greedy, but maybe. Again, Grant's writing Enoch by Night for Vampire. We have here another RAI exclusive. Full permission by Grant. Again, in his book for Enoch by Night, Cain is embracing a stone eater. A rank 5 stone eater. And he's using that little bit of tie back to Savage Age, which is badass, by the way.
Confirmed for canon. Kind of.
Kind of. And that stone eater he's the one that hibernates under the city, and Cain will be using him to serve as his guardian while he sleeps the sleep of ages. Whatever that means, I'm sure you vampire guys know. But how fucking cool is that? Tom's face right now.
I'm still caught up on the logistics of that shit.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that Stone Eater is going to be changed.
Well,
I mean, he's writing it.
Yeah,
okay, it happened.
But yeah, the author said so.
So-
That's enough reason.
My
But
question would be, how long is his sleep, and is he going to run out of gnosis before he wakes up?
That's not up to me. Grant's writing it. I'm sure he can figure that out. But
well, and then
I'm
even
going to go off to all the loopholes on that one.
well, even then, I think that becomes discretion of the storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a neat little piece of
You don't fuck with
information,
Stone Eaters, man.
right? But like Girl in general, like it's the same thing with the Macaulay, other than the Godzilla, the frenzy part. Is how do you run into a changing breed in the first place?
You'd have to be actively seeking them out.
Right, or just incredibly right place, wrong, or wrong place, right time, right place, wrong. I guess it depends on your point of view, right?
depends on your point of view.
Yeah, whose side are you on this? But like Garou, I can see because Garou often hunt leeches.
Yes.
They cross paths, but like Garou don't cross paths with no fucking buddy.
Unless they want to be seen.
Right, and guess what? They don't.
Nope.
Spoiler alert: they do not care for it. The same with like a Nuisha, but I mean Nuisha, they can't be embraced, so fine. A Korax. What fucking idiot Korax gets caught by vampires?
He can fly.
Like, what's he even doing there? Aren't you supposed to cower it out and fly away and get your free pass on?
But I think that just goes to show how fucking rare it is that this actually happens, that an abomination is created.
No, yeah, and I mean, it again, you have to botch that roll. So the answer is practically never.
Practically.
Do you know what a group of abominations is called?
Oh boy. I feel like there's a joke coming here.
Fiction. There's
Touche.
no way.
Touche.
I refuse the notion.
It could happen. Hey, you've been in games where multiple botches have happened.
I have.
So it could happen.
I reject.
The odds suck, but it could happen.
You know, and I mean, of course, even if it hasn't happened, you do need an answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, I have a hard time believing there has been an example where a Macaulay has actually been embraced. I have a hard time buying that scenario.
According to Grant, again, he's the expert here. I don't know, but this is just the information he gave me.
Okay.
Extremely rare, but canon-wise, I don't even know if he knows it's canon or not, but to him, Macaulay, there's only one known. Apis, only one known. The most common are Garou and Ratkin. Obviously, Ratkin being how fucking many of them there are. But, so less than 1% of the total abomination population are other Fera. But the total population of abomination is probably like 10. So, one of these, one of those, and the rest Garou, if that.
You said less than 1%, so it would be 1.
Of the total population.
You said there was 10.
I just threw a random number out here. I'm
messing with
giving
you
a
at this
low
point.
number here.
That's what you get for running me over.
I apologize. I'm just going by the information I was given.
You know what I was going to say?
Okay.
Me
sorry.
neither. It's gone now.
Because you started bringing math into this. And
Well, that's the thing is, when we divvied out what we're each researching today, I realized I had the easiest one. And as I'm reading it, there's not a whole lot of information, again, for how rare they are, that I felt like, okay, you guys did a ton of research compared to what I did. I need to do a little bit more. Where else can I go? So I went into the vampire book. Or, for that matter, Grant went into the vampire book for me.
No, you went to Grant.
I went to
Right?
Grant, who got the information from the vampire book. Right. But again, we have an expert on our friends list here, so why not get as much information as I could?
Well, why not take a second to thank Grant
Yes.
Thank you.
for all the hard work he did for Danny?
I wasn't going to say it.
You should have.
I should. I wasn't going to say it like that.
You did half your homework.
Not half.
Yeah, I'm asking teacher over there to help me with my homework.
That's different. He's used more like the tutor, not the teacher.
He's the one with the book. He's the teacher.
No, he just had a better book than I did. Or a different book than I did. How
So you
about
had a
that?
vampire book?
Granted.
So he's the teacher. Anyway,
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know. I was super excited to read these, and it's weird as shit, and they're super rare, but cool as hell.
I guess.
Very easily can be antagonist kind of thing, and
Well, they're certainly not going to be allies.
true.
And you have to consider what, I mean, like, everything we're talking about today is rare.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's break that down.
Very,
period.
very much, yes.
These are all really rare fucking things.
But I think the way we talked about them in order,
Oh, definitely.
right?
But
Mine would probably be the most rare.
definitely. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the appeal, but I know it exists to play an abomination.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what a loathsome fucking existence.
Oh.
Not the player, the character.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you have a very real clock over your head. You have lost your connection to Gaia. How that isn't devastating on multiple levels would be beyond me. And let's not forget the fact that your friends, your family, your kin, your pack,
Probably all dead now. Probably killed them all.
that is a leap. I was going to say absolutely don't want anything to do with you.
Okay, fine.
And are actively probably trying to hunt you.
Probably to put you out of your misery.
Mm-hmm.
You are dead. You know,
I mean, at that point, I just still question why don't you want to kill yourself?
and I would like to think that most do.
Right.
Most being
But there
Again,
must be
how
something
rare.
in the right or whatever that flicks some kind of switch in their brain. I don't know.
I don't know either.
maybe that's a vampire thing with the blood. I don't know.
You know, I know that there
A
is
master servant thing, whatever that is.
Possibly.
there is a spiral that was turned. Believe he was a spiral. I think it's Alonso Montoya. He's in Where's the Apocalypse.
Okay.
So there is like the one on record.
I could see a spiral being okay with it.
Sure. In you know, Maybe.
Yeah, for how close they are to the worm. Yeah.
I mean, in reality, Spiral is not losing really anything because
Not a whole lot. I
Still
mean,
embraced,
you can
kinda.
get away with a lot of shit. It's a Spiral.
yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, really, if you think about it, they're really kind of forgiving. Like, as a tribe,
As a trap.
they're on par with the children of Gaia, I think. Is they'll take you in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they'll take you.
they'll take anybody.
Okay, if you're going that route.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to read between the lines on that, that's your business and your problem. But I'm saying
It's
that
Cliff Notes version, man.
yeah, but much like the children of Gaia, they'll embrace you, they'll take you in, and they got a lot in common. Neither one
not
like to
wrong.
fight the worm.
He's not wrong.
See, it. I had to slip that in there.
No,
didn't
no,
I?
that's perfect.
Playing with fire,
What a
my
dick
friend.
move.
How is
I
he
love
playing
it.
with fire?
I'm
in their book,
I'm just pointing out that the worm will take anybody, as will the children of Gaia. I don't see the issue here.
It's just Cliff Notes version.
Yeah.
Don't dig deeper.
See, children of Gaia go, yes, we'll take you in, weirdo Black Fury males. And you're not the Black Fury. You didn't, Pegasus won't take you, so you can't say Black Fury.
Fury.
You know, but I mean, people do. They're like a Black Fury male. We're not a Black Fury male because they're.
No such thing.
Yeah, you didn't have a tribe yet. You're a baby.
You're a Ronin.
You're just a baby at that point. You're nothing.
Yeah,
You're a parasite who just recently was removed from the host.
you're the son of a Black Fury, but now you're a Children of Gaia.
Like a detached tapeworm.
My God.
Where are we going with this?
No, I was just pointing. You know, I had disaster in my mind. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Just an episode on disaster.
Just doing a little bit. All right.
So yeah, the rejects. It was kind of cool to read. I mean, I'm happy they're super rare because it's kind of crazy ridiculous.
Well, and it's cool. It's an angle that you don't normally get to go to.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of monsters out there in the world of darkness. In fact, we get a show in the future where we're going to be tackling various monsters that aren't femori, aren't black spirals. That's almost what this episode was.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah.
But then, you know, it's like, I don't know, we'll do the rejects instead. But, you know, it's a type of antagonist that is rare, that is a real threat.
Absolutely.
That can definitely each one of these can seriously complicate things. There are very interesting angles and ways you can go. You have that Ronin who was hired by another sept to sabotage shit, to
Or if you're
attack you.
playing far enough back, you got Sam Haight sitting there coming, trying to steal all your kinfolk.
That could be a thing. You know, you've got you've got that skin dancer connection. What happens if? What happens when it's someone in your sept?
All of it's fucked up.
Yeah, someone you've trusted. You know, what happens when that pack of friends dies on a mission and you got to go track, you know, they haven't reported in, you got to track them down. What happened to your friends? And you find that whole pack's dead. They were killed by leeches except for one.
Oh,
And
shit.
you track him down and look what he's become.
Oh, that's deep.
You know,
Deep cut right there.
angles and options, incredible threats, but rare stuff that you do very rarely. Because if you do it all the time, it takes away.
It takes away from how rare it is.
Exactly. It takes away how special it is, how poignant, how dangerous, how tragic.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And when I was reading like the mechanics part of it, and I see that the only way to become the abomination was to botch. That's kind of what made it a little bit more realistic for how super stupid rare this is.
Yeah. And again, what a terrible fate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have never run an apocalypse, but I at one point had a kind of a headcanon of how it would go.
Okay, so you had an abomination story before.
No,
You had an idea of one.
but yes.
Okay.
You know, when I was coming up with this, what would my apocalypse look like? You know, I decided it was something that it wasn't one battle. It was a process. It was like a decade of things happening. That was the apocalypse. And so in that, I'm like, well, what happens? Because, you know, my players at the time, you know, this was the Silent Howl era. So I go, well, what happens to the Silent Howl? And I envision, well, this is how Rune Alterone dies. This is how this happens. This is how this happens. And Sekhmet Rainmaker is killed in the streets of New Orleans by a vampire and embraced.
Oh, jeez.
The ultimate vampire hunter becomes embraced. You son of a bitch.
And
That's a dick move.
yeah, he's in the streets dying and bleeding out. and Sage and Ron would find him.
Oh boy.
And I remember talking to those players at the day, and it was like Sage wouldn't let anyone near him, not even Ron.
Damn.
He would be the one to put Sekhmet down, and then Sage and Ron would just frenzy and jump into the hordes or whatever, die fighting. Fuck it.
Oh.
Blaze of Glory.
Fuck.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, man. I am so glad that never happened. It's just because of our game and how serious of a character, all that, the entire pack, how serious of a pack that is, and the relationship and bonds we've made with that pack, how much of that world is the way it is because of that pack. Jesus Christ, that's nuts. God. The apocalypse.
But that's a story for an apocalypse-themed episode. So we'll probably bring that up again later this season.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah, I don't know how soon is, but coming this season for sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how soon that is.
This season.
There you go, yeah.
There's 54 episodes.
I mean, I guess. We can call it every year.
I mean, we're doing that now. We have decided the season starts in January.
Season starts right now.
Right. So we'll be celebrating our 100th episode soon. And our actual air date anniversary, I guess. But those are
season 3.
Yeah, these are all different things now.
Guys.
Yep. Yeah, that's time for us for today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get drunk.
Sweet.
All right.
I'm gonna be hungover.
That's why you just don't stop drinking.
Yeah. That's a problem for future me
Mm-hmm.
and past me, depending on if you're recording or listening. What?
Inception.
Right? It's
Follow
crazy.
that rabbit hole.
All right, everybody. That's our time. So on behalf of Mr. Tommy Dixon, Mr. Daniel Tyson, and again, I am Porter, we want to thank you for listening. Thank you for everything you've done, your support. Please keep it up. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Keep your claws sharp, your head on a swivel. And we'll see you.